race programme at Sha Tin for us this weekend on a Saturday. We're out of step as far as our meetings are concerned over the next week. We go Saturday, Tuesday and then next Friday back at Sha Tin for Reunification Day racing there. But good programme coming up. I'm Andrew Jones. Good to have your company as always. Joined here in the studio by former analyst in Paul A and race caller Mark McNamara as well. Mark, particularly that 9th event looks a belter.
It does indeed, Andrew. Hello to you and everybody. We've got Bazinga coming up in grey, Beauty Live, Navas 2. Who won more stride. He beats Lucky Swayness last time, and Fantastic Treasure has his second run back after that long break. It had 2 trials before that first up performance. Expect he will come right on with it, but he does carry the now top weight of 135.
135 pounds now for the top weight. We'll talk about that in a second, Paul. What else are we looking at in terms of first starters or jackpots, anything along those lines?
Yeah, we've got a couple of jackpots actually. 1.6 million going into the triple trio, and also 400,000 going into the second double trio. So a couple of jackpots there. Only one first starter, a horse called Protos Spirit is running in the middle of the card.
Okay, all right. So we'll be looking at 2 of the feature races here. But Mark just touched on the fact that weights are going up from this weekend. This is how it breaks down, guys. We've basically gone up £2 at the top and the bottom. So £135 top weight, 115 at the bottom, Mark. And the overweights, allowable overweights, just changes slightly too.
Absolutely. It took a little bit of getting used to looking at the form guide today, Paul, for the first time, seeing a 134 and a 135 in there and thought, what's going on here? And then remembered 25th of June has snuck up on us already.
It has, yeah, it's gone quick, hasn't it? But yeah, nothing too much has changed except for the fact the weights have just all gone up £2 really.
Yeah, it certainly helps in this warmer weather as far as dehydration is concerned. And on the jockey side of things as well, if you're watching Wednesday night, you've seen Joe that was stood down there. He's not riding on Saturday, but he is back on Tuesday, so accepting rides from Tuesday. Keith Young's back as well. He's been out since the end of April, but Wagner Borges out this weekend and out next week as well. He's a close contact to a COVID case there, so it's an ongoing situation with Wagner. All right, Luke Curry's out as well through suspension. This is his second meeting out, but it is meeting number 82 of the 88 for the season. We've got 8 races on the turf and 2 all-weathers as well. They're races 3 and 8, and we're on the B course as far as the turf action is concerned. So we're going to be focusing on the last 2 races, a Class 2 and a Class 3, both of them over the 1,400 metres, and the 9th event over the 7 furlongs here with Fantastic Treasure. Yes, the 135 he'll carry now. Blake Shin from barrier number 8. He's second up from that long break, finished 6th behind Winning Dreamer, as beaten favourite last time out. Buddies could roll forward. Golden Scenery's been placed in his last 2. Master Delight down the field on his return last time behind Lucky Swayness. Same race that Navas 2 finished second in actual fact. Beauty Live up in class for his last start when he's won 4 of his 7 starts this campaign. Bazinga. He comes up in class as well, run up a brilliant way last time out. Tornado Phantom and Beauty Fit also coming out that Lucky Swayness race where he finished in 5th place. Right, we start as always with the speed map here for the 9th, and as far as the pace is concerned, Mark, we got Beauty Live and Buddies out early.
We do indeed. Buddies loves to lead, and he's got a proven record at 1,400 metres, being a 4-time winner. Beauty Live is likely going to come up and sit outside of him. Bazinga Paul, he's got early speed. He's going to be behind Buddies with Navas 2, 3 back on the rail. However, Buddies has been getting to the 200 metres and folding up, so they're going to hope that it's not a bunched field turning for home, that pair, and they're held up in behind traffic.
Yeah, I think there'll be enough speed in the race that hopefully they get through. Fantastic Treasure, he's got to carry that 135. He doesn't normally have any early speed. If you're in a jurisdiction with KGs, just to let you know, that's 61.23 as well at the top. And Tornado Phantom, another one that likes to get back.
61.23, very precise. Right, we'll move on. We'll have a look at a couple of replays in a moment. First up, we'll start with Karis Teaton. He'll be on board Bazinga.
Karis Bazinga looks a really nice ride for you this weekend. He's a very impressive and improving horse, isn't he?
Yes, Nick. He's a horse that we are all looking forward to. He's been progressing nicely throughout the season. He had a couple of nice wins, and he ran a couple of good races with big weight and also some. I think the one day he had soft going, so he's learning through, but really happy with his progress.
I guess the hand has been forced to step up in grade. Obviously, the handicap has penalised him for what was a good run last time. Just on trip, do you feel he's ready now for the step up to 14?
Yeah, I feel that he's definitely ready for a trip. Last time I think the 1200 that he have to keep working and keep up with the pace. Where I think the 14 he would just have his chance to breathe and take his time and feel better about going into the straight. But yeah, I think he's definitely ready for the 14.
And what were the workings between yourself and Tony with putting the hood on, Karis?
Yeah, I think he decided to put it on just to to keep him a bit calm, and he is a horse that can he can show a bit of speed. So of course stepping up to the 14 just to we know how good he is and we know the turn of foot he's got anyway.
It's a really competitive race. You'd obviously have massive respect for your rivals, like the Fantastic Treasure, Navas 2, Beauty Live. It's a good hot race, this one.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be a good test for him. It's going to be a good test for us to know how good he is and going towards next season. But like I said, I think he's a very smart horse. I think he's ready to take on some of the big name like that. So we are looking forward to that.
And just on the sort of the theme of looking forward next season, how good do you think this horse could be, possibly?
I think he'll progress nicely into the grades. I think even next season he's going to be better after the summer break. So, like I said, he's showing some really good signs so far, and when they show that kind of sign, they always go upgrades.
Do you think he'd get a mile, this horse?
Yeah, I think so.
He's at the bottom class 2 at the moment for a mark of 83, but Hooden up in trip this weekend, as is Mark Fantastic Treasure. After this was his return effort over the 1200 metres. Had to cover a little bit of ground last time out. He'd been off the track since New Year's Day when returning at the end of May.
Ended up being beaten 3 1/4 lengths as a 5.5 favourite, but the 2 trials, even though he'd won them leading into this race, Paul, they had been rather soft trials. So you'd expect him to come on. He does have to give quite a lot of weight away to some really nice up-and-coming horses in this race. Him himself, winner of 5 from 9. I expect a better run from him on Saturday than this first up run.
Yeah, there's always that problem he could bounce as well, I suppose. Second up after a long period. Voyage Warrior finished in front of him there, and he ran really well during the week. Look, I'm going to just watch him in this race. I just want to see him one more time.
OK, well, speaking of trials that Mark was talking about, Paul, this is where he's been back at recently. Did you like anything out of this? Yeah,
I thought the trial was nice. Like, as Mark said, it was a pretty soft trial, wasn't it? And he was sort of just asked a little bit towards the end of this trial. And look, he's responded well, I thought. So, look, it's just a maintenance trial for him.
Absolutely. Kept the legs ticking over and put some miles in the legs. Much happy with the way he trialled them. Poor old Smoky Bear on the outside. He was hard ridden all the way down the straight there. So he does find a minor spot.
OK. Right. Well, this one of his main, or a handful of his main rivals, but this is Navas 2 at the back here. Eventually finishes in second place. The other ones to look out for, the Golden Scenery runs third. We got Beauty Fit in the pink cap, eventually finishing in 5th. Winner Method runs 7th in the yellow and blue. Good Luck Friend down on the inside. Master Delight eventually finishes in 10th. And Buddies, as you were touching on, Mark, before, he actually punctures here and runs 11th in the end. Horse in the yellow jacket, arrowed, is Lucky Sweynesse, who ran well on Wednesday night.
Yeah, he ran really well, Lucky Sweynesse. But look, Navas too, he's had outside draws leading in 12, 14, 13. He drew 1 here. I just think they're just going to be a little bit closer over the 1400 metres from his barrier here of 4. I think he maybe was a little bit further back here. You could see he came wide and he just couldn't quite make it. So a really good run from Navas too. I thought the Golden Scenery hit the line well as well.
He did. He cut some ground to the Golden Scenery. He didn't quite make it in with some of the lighter weights of the up-and-comers. Navas too thought he was the horse to beat. Lucky Sweynesse just stretched out to 1400 metres and managed to get the job done. If he can get a closer run through, or even sit a little bit closer this week, Navas too, he's going to be very, very hard to beat.
He's come up short as well, a bit shorter than I thought he would at the moment. But his overall record, Mark, he's 3 from 5, course and distance. Only, well, one of the other runs, he was second as well.
He was indeed. That was behind Lucky Sweynesse, who's had a terrific season himself. He's a multiple winner at Happy Valley and 1 for 1 at Sha Tin now. So the speed map, Paul, he's hitting on the rail, a lot closer, as you said, midfield, and a lot less ground he's going to have to make up.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that's the key, isn't it? And we know he's a 1400 metre specialist. Yeah, the statistics prove that.
What about Beauty Live then, Paul? This is last start beating the Golden Empire.
Yeah, look, this is a lot harder than what Beauty Live has been in, but he's done everything right. This horse, this is his first campaign. He's had 7 starts. He's had 4 wins and a couple of placings. So he's a really young, progressive horse. He only has to carry the 121 as a 4-year-old here. He's drawn awkwardly, barrier number 9, so he just might have to work to get across. That was the only query I had. But look, I'm going to keep him in because he's definitely a potentially good horse.
Absolutely, found a spot for him as well. Winner of 4 from 7, 4 from 5 over the 1400 metres. Matthew Poon takes the ride, so gets a couple of pounds off, and Matthew has ridden him to victory before.
Okay, back at the trials here for Master Delight. Mark, he's wearing the blinkers first time on Saturday here in Hong Kong, but he wore them in a recent trial as well.
He didn't mind the trial at all, actually. That's Duke Y in between runners there, turning for home. And he's a horse that's failed in his last 2. Once was in the Classic Bowl. His runs have been a little spaced. He then ran 10th behind Lucky Swayness. That was first up for just on 4 months. He has run 4th second up before, Paul, but even with the blinkers on, just want to watch him in this race.
Yeah, I'm the same. Yeah, look, I just want to see how I think he'll progress. I think it'll be a better run than last start. But look, this is a really hot field, so he didn't quite make it in for me.
Okay, all right. So mentioned before, Navas 2 is pretty short here, Paul. 1.8 in the field with a bit of quality.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think he'll start near 1.8. I think he'll drift Navas 2. He is on top though. Just think they'll race him a little bit closer, and I think he can be tough to beat. Bazinga should get a nice run just in behind as well, and I think he's capable in this grade. The Golden Scenery, I'm going to include him. I know he's going to carry 130 here, but from barrier 5, his last 2 runs have both been good. And then the up and comer Beauty Live in there for 4th. So 6, 9, 3 and 8 for me, Mark.
Same top 2 as you, Paul. 6 and 9 go 1 and 2 with Navas 2. Barrier number 1, 1400 metres, loves the trip. Bazinga, he's a really big horse, and another 6 months he's going to be even better, but still been good enough to win 2 from 4 and place a couple of times. He won't be far away. Beauty Live more than proven at the course and distance, and expect a better run from Fantastic Treasure following that first up performance. That was his first run since New Year's Day. 6, 9, 8 and 1.
I've got the same cue as well, the 6th and 9, but I don't think there's that much bigger gap as the market suggests at this point in time. Hopefully Paul's right and he does drift out a little bit there. Navas 2. All right, we'll be looking at the 10th race. That's next for us. Class 3 again over the 1400 metres, plus all the best bets. That's still to come. Racing in Hong Kong heads to Sha Tin on Saturday this weekend for a 10-race programme. It's mixed card as well, turf and all weather. We've looked at the 9th. We're about to look at race number 10 itself, which again is over the 1400 metres. This is a Class 3 contest. Field is headed by Maldives. Blake Shin in the saddle from barrier 4. Had a wider gate in his last 3 starts. Should assist. Running ahead, blinkers on for the first time for his second start. Finished midfield behind Beauty Live last time out. Private Rockets gets up to his winning trip. He's a 3-time course and distance winner. Runner-up last time out. Ready to win, placed on his last 2. 8 trigrams, a winner over the 1200 metres at a big price. Last time nearly 50 to 1 from a wide draw. Gets barrier 12 again. Folds up in class for a last start win. Voyage Bubble was a winner over the 1200 back in February. Red Titan with a headgear change here. The hood going on. Coming Patch, Commanding Missile gets the hood on as well for Francis Loy and Luke Ferraris from barrier number 11. All right, we're saying good to slow as far as the tempo is concerned here, Mark, for the final events. What are we thinking? 8 trigrams going to go back to back.
He led last time, Andrew, and can get across and lead. Igniting is another horse that has plenty of gate speed, although he hasn't quite been as quick out lately as what he can be. But if he does decide to turn it on, he can get handy. Voyage Bubble goes forward as well. Folds Private Rocket too, Paul. He gets out of the gate quite okay. He's the early favourite for the race too, and he does step back to his preferred 1400 metres.
Yeah, so he might be one place closer there. Private Rocket in front of kind of cool, but Voyage Bubble and Igniting I thought would come across from their wide draws together. The key, as you mentioned, with Igniting has been slightly slower, but he's up to 1400 here, so I think the extra 200 will give him that opportunity to get it across. A lot of horses like to get back in this race. Commanding Missile, Coming Patch, Tempest Express has been getting back. Running ahead, now he's the query horse because he's got blinkers on for the first time, and he did win with those blinkers on in Australia.
Okay, all right, something to certainly keep note of. We've got a number of replays to have a look at as well. To start with, though, let's hear from Lyle Hewitson, successful midweek at Happy Valley. He's riding here, Private Rocket.
Lyle, Private Rocket in the last race on Saturday looks a pretty decent chance. He's been racing well, this horse.
Yes, he has been. All 3 of his runs with me so far I've been pleased with, and I've noticed a bit of improvement with each one. I think that the 14 on the turf is his pet trip, so that's definitely up his alley, and he's also had a bit of luck with the barrier draws, so that's certainly a bonus.
Yeah, all of his wins, I think, have been over this course. And it's just on the sort of the angle of the barrier. Obviously, he's a prominently racing type of horse. I guess you couldn't be in a better spot.
Yeah, he's got such natural gate speed, and once he gets there, he's able to switch off at a good tempo, whether it be leading or with cover. So he's quite a versatile and simple horse to ride. My only concern would be that he certainly does need a bit of sting out the ground, and we've had a lot of hot days, so it looks like it might be on the firmer side. But look, nonetheless, he's in good form, and if he can offset needing a soft track, he's in good enough form to run another great race.
And is that sort of opinion formed perhaps on the fact he's getting that a little bit older? I mean, he's a 6-year-old, so perhaps as they do get older, they maybe do just want that little bit of juice in the ground.
Yeah, I think it's always been beneficial to him, but as he got older, it's probably become more important. And I've certainly noticed the difference from when I've galloped him on the turf when it's firm and how he's felt in the race. So he's definitely got a bias towards a little bit of sting out the ground. But with that said, because he's racing well and he's a happy horse at the moment, hopefully he can offset that.
Yeah, I mean, he's a happy horse. A lot of the horses are happy from that stable. Obviously, Nothing New was a nice winner for you on Wednesday night with Douglas, and obviously good to see him get the job done again.
Yeah, I was thrilled. Been looking to get aboard him throughout the season, really, and all a matter of time. And I'm grateful that I got the opportunity. He certainly pulled off a good victory, and it was great to be aboard for that win.
So he's our favourite at this stage. That's Private Rocket. But what about his rivals? A couple of replays here, Mark. Starting off with Ready to Win out the back here. Finishes off, though, to finish third behind Starbright.
Yeah, and Zach Purton jumps aboard. He picks up this ride for Frankie Law. Now, he's a 3-time winner over 1,400 metres prior to arriving, twice at Otaki and once at Trentham. So he is proven distance and run on well behind Starbright, beaten 3/4. So on this run, Paul, and the way he finishes on the outside, he's in the top 4.
Yeah, and the stable, Frankie Law, obviously leading the premiership, so he's absolutely flying at the moment as well. So, look, he goes in for me. I just really thought it was a really nice performance there.
8 trigrams led home a bit of an upset win, Paul, just a week ago. In actual fact, this was I think it was a big first 4 quartet, wasn't it? Nearly 50 to 1 here. What are your thoughts on the quick backup?
Yeah, I just whether he can do it 2 times in a row here. If they do leave him alone, then obviously he is a horse that likes to keep going. We've seen that. He's in good form at the moment, 8 trigrams. He's got to get across from barrier number 12. That was just a little query. And saying that he had 11 last time and managed to get across. Look, I didn't quite get him in. I'm not sure if he can do 2 in a row. Yeah,
and he's got an extra 9 pounds on his back with an extra 200 metres to run as well. Having said that, he's had a really good season. He's been very consistent, but yeah, a bit of extra weight might be a problem. OK, here's another last start winner then, Mark, in the shape of Folds. This again, though, was over the 1,200 metres, but it was a good win. It was. It was the only time he's been to Sha Tin as well. So up to 1,400 metres for this. He's had a trial. Now, he won over 1,100 at Geelong, so he's unproven over 1,400 metres. He's gone the odd good race over at Happy Valley as well, Paul. Didn't make it in, but he did win this race very easily. He didn't. He was in the right part of the track this day, and he came down the middle and won really nicely. Whether he can put another one, whether he can put 2 together, but it was a strong win. OK, another horse towards the bottom of the handicap here is Red Titan. This is him finishing 5th, Paul, last time behind Ace One, and Saturday Bay was just his 5th start here in Hong Kong. Yeah, it was a nice run too from Red Titan. The query I had, I just found it hard to map him from barrier number 14. I think he just might have to go all the way back, and he just might be a little bit further back. Look, he's only had the limited starts, but he's definitely getting there. The earplugs will come off, the hood will go on, so a little gear change. I like the way he finished off here. Yeah, the further he goes, the better he's going to be. Went over the mile at Goran Park before he arrived. Just from barrier number 14, he's going to have to pass the herd, but will love the step up in trip. OK, last one, Mark. We're at the trials to have a look at Voyage Bubble, and he comes home in front as well. This is one of the 2 trials he has had since his last start. He also beat War of Courage in another trial. That's Chiron to his outside, who we see in an earlier race. He's a nice enough horse himself, is Voyage Bubble. He's been racing in strong fields, Paul, his last couple. 2nd behind Bazinga, beaten 2, and a 5th behind Bazinga, where he was a little bit disappointing. So a bit of a freshen up for him might have done him the world of good. I'm going to take a chance on him in this race. Yeah, I am too, actually. I think the stable's going really well at the moment. Ricky Hughes horses sort of winning just about every week, aren't they? And he was favourite for those 2 races as well. Odds on one time. What do you like here, though, Paul? Yeah, I'm going to go with Voyage Bubble there. I did like that trial coming into the race, and I think he's a really good horse. He's been beaten favourite in his last 3 starts. Maldives, he's in there for 2nd. A quirky horse that has to carry the weight. Ready to win. Look, that was a good run from him last time. And Igniting, stepping up to 1,400 metres. Little similar. Voyage Bubble certainly goes on top, though, and he's not a bad each-way price early in betting. We'll see if that holds up. Does have a wide draw. Private Rocket doesn't draw on 1. Maldives has had some traffic problems at his last 2, and Ready to Win back to the 1,400 again. 11, 4, 1 and 6. Tricky race the last. Private Rocket, he'll do me.
Douglas White and Lyle Hewitson. 10 races then, Paul, who do we like?
Yeah, look, I'm going to go with a maiden in the first, which is Earnest Feeling. I thought Bundle of Charm, he can win again. He's looked good in both his starts here in Hong Kong. Royal Campbell should be a bit of a price. He can lead all the way on an all-weather race there as well. Rainbow Light, look, he's going to get a nice run. I thought Vukin could be some pretty big odds as well. He's up against Riders Rain, who will come up pretty short, but Vukin will be a good price. Gang of Brothers won well last time, and also don't mind a horse called Co-Partner Elites.
Okay, and not forgetting, you can see the previews, full previews for those on the audio video section of the website. So who of those was the best?
The one I mentioned last, Co-Partner Elites here. I think he's got a really good draw. He's going to get himself into a nice position in the 2,000 metres. Looks ideal. Vincent Ho knows the horse well. And Vukan, Vincent's on that one, so Vincent double for me. Look, he's won off a high rating before of 51. He's at this rating of 45 and 1,800 metres. He's drawn wide, but he's got the whole back straight to get across. We'll make the play in race 7 though with Co-Partner Elites, Intrepid Winner and Natural Storm. QQP 1, 5 and 13.
A Rainbow Light's drawn barrier number 1, 2 starts at 1,400 at Sha Tin for 2 placings, including 2 lengths behind Tuchel last start. Tuchel has beaten plenty of horses by further than 2 lengths and will beat plenty of horses by further than 2 lengths. Smiling Time, 15 starts for nothing, but he's 1,800 metre form and he's run behind Running Glory 4 starts ago was actually all right. And we'll just go Rainbow Light, Voyage Star and a Forecast as the play.
All right, best for me, Navas 2, Zach Purton jumping on board. So Zach could have ridden a hatful by the time we come to race number 9, but I still think he can win. But Bazinga, his main rival there. Tycoon Jury, beaten favourite last time, had to cover some ground, give him an excuse for that. Draws barrier this time, 3 down this time round with the Hammer on board, Antoine Hamelin. And the QQP, you could probably just do Navas 2 and Bazinga really, but chuck in Beauty Life as well, if you like, 6, 8 and 9 as far as the QP is concerned. So that's Saturday racing for us then, Mark, and then out of step next week as well, Tuesday, Friday programme.
Better write that down, it's going to be hard to remember. It's going to throw the week out of whack. But Tuesday, Paul, gorgeous Vitality runs over the 1,000 metres at Happy Valley, and his last 2 wins have been super.
They've good. And John Simon's got a first starter called Fingers Crossed, who's won a trial recently. Looking forward to seeing him step out.
Yeah, gorgeous Vitality was the horse that gave Zach the whack in the nose as well, wasn't he? Looking forward to that once more, I am sure. But Saturday racing for us this weekend. That's the show. Thanks for watching. Hopefully we'll see you at Sha Tin on Saturday. We will be racing to win.